name is Leilani, and in this video I'm going to share with you the pros and the cons of Simply Piano. Now, I am a former public and private school teacher, and I have also taught piano lessons, music, and voice lessons, but now I am a homeschool mom. And as homeschool mom, I want my kids to learn music. For any parent that experienced music in their childhood and adulthood, you understand the importance of teaching music to your kids. But piano lessons are really expensive. I think we can all agree, and the way things are going, sometimes you want to find alternatives. And that's where Simply Piano can come in. So in this video, I'm going to share with you pros and cons so you can decide if this is something that's going to work for your family before you cash out the yearly subscription. We have been using Simply Piano for approximately 3 years with 3 of my kids, and I find it very useful. So at the end of the video, I'm going to share with you how we use it as a homeschool family and basically as parents. So let me start off with the cons. Why not? My first con is that it's not going to teach you some of the techniques, the physical techniques. So like posture, how your hand should be placed on the piano, the arms, where the elbows are, all that stuff. The physical placement of your body. Now they do teach you, your numbers and your fingers. And so if you're a parent that's walking into piano lessons for the first time and you don't know much about that stuff, I really suggest watching some YouTube videos. There is a program out there, Faber and Faber puts out a very easy introductory beginning piano book that you could purchase and get some tricks and tips and some really cool ideas that will help you get your child to get that, proper placement of those fingers on the piano so they don't get carpal tunnel syndrome or have a hard time when the pieces get harder because they have bad technique. So that's a con, but a pro is Simply Piano does teach some music theory. So a little bit about the program. When you open up Simply Piano, you have lots of different options that you can choose from what you want to do. You can just jump in and do sheet music, except they do make you get through some of the lessons before you can explore some of the sheet music. I'm going to talk about that later. But the lessons will introduce you to the note names. They do it slowly too, so they'll introduce like 3 notes. Then they will introduce you to rhythm. They will introduce you to note values. They will talk about the staff, the treble, the bass clef. They will also talk about coordination, chords, sharps, flats, like those kind of music theory type things. They even have a section where they have a 5-minute warm-up. It's sight reading. And then there's one that you can actually do if you're on the go and you don't have a piano around you. You can type it in or play it on their little miniature piano to match the notes and the note names. So they do teach you music theory, and that's one thing I really like about Simply Piano because they're keeping that fresh. They're not just like, throwing stuff at you and saying, good luck, have fun. So that's with the lesson section. Now, eventually the lesson section is gonna break up into 2 sections. They're going to have chords and they're going to have solo. So you're learning both the bass and the melody lines. Chords is going to be those chord changes, and that's something that is very useful, especially if you're playing in a band or if you want to show off to your friends and sing along as you're playing chords. But anyway, those are the 2 sections, solo and chords, and so you can pick whichever track you want to go to. You can skip between the 2, but all of them are building upon the idea of music theory, and it's great. I love that about Simply Piano. You just have to be consistent with it, and you have to be self-motivated. So the child has to be self-motivated, or you, the parent, have to be motivated to get the child to do it. But the good thing, another pro, is that it kind of works with a reward system. So just like kids love gaming, we all know that whenever you add a reward system to something, it tends to motivate them to do better. So you can get stars if the piece is done very, very well, and then you can move up to the next song. They also have awards. You can actually look at the stats. It also counts the minutes that you've actually been playing Simply Piano for over the year. They will also compare you to other users and rank you among the users. So my son was actually in like the top 15%. Says he was using his free time wisely. What they did not know is that was part of our homeschool curriculum. So technically it wasn't his free time, but we'll go with it. We'll just go with it. But that's really cool because you have that motivation, that competition, the reward system there, and it just kind of does. It does self-motivate the kids to do better or to get through things. So another example is one of my kids is like kind of obsessed with playing the theme song of Game of Thrones, but he can't seem to get it perfect and gets a little obsessed with it, and he plays it over and over and over again. I've actually never seen the show, but I know the song. So while we're on the songs, let's talk a little bit about the cons. So Simply Piano has a wide variety of music, and within the lessons, they're gonna give you songs that you have to play in order to move on to the next lesson. Some of these songs for the younger kids, not that they're inappropriate, but they're just a little bit more mature. For example, in the beginning, you're going to get sick of hearing Tom Petty's I'm Free Falling, which to me is not, you know, a song that a second grader really wants to hear. They also have things like the Rocky theme song and then some Aerosmith. They have Guns N' Roses in there. And like I said, it's not inappropriate, those songs. On the other hand, they do have some fun stuff that she'll be going through, you know, like Somewhere Over the Rainbow and that Kermit the Frog song. But the fact that you can't really get to the next level until you can complete that song, and the song's not really one of your favorites, a little mature, that's a con there that you can't pick out. However, a pro is that you have access to sheet music. Like a lot of sheet music, thousands of songs. It's called beta play. And after you get access, you get to a certain point, you get access to those songs. It's a matter of just picking your favorite ones, saving them, you know, play. You could like, for example, you want to do a classical piece. You want your kid, I do this all the time. Get a classical piece, Moonlight Sonata, for example. You want them to learn Moonlight Sonata, all right? You search under classical, or you could type in Moonlight Sonata, find it, save it to your favorites, and so when they open it up, they can pick what level they want to learn. So if they want to learn Moonlight Sonata and they don't want to learn like the difficult one, you can do the beginning or the intermediate. Moonlight Sonata is one of the ones that my kids have learned. Classical, we pull a lot from the classical section. They also have some Christian contemporary songs in there, gospel songs, blues, jazz, Broadway songs, TV theme songs, they have video game theme songs, and if there's a song in there that they don't have that you want to request, you can put in a request to that, which we have. I need to check to see if they honor that request. The other thing about the beta play is that this section of songs is not part of the lessons. So if you get really good at one of the songs, it's not gonna help you move up in the lessons. But as a con, I do wanna mention there is a link in there to a community. Now with your younger kids, second, third graders, you probably don't want them to click on that community button that takes them to a Facebook page. That could be a con. But for a pro, if you have an older kid that goes to the community page, it does take them to a Facebook page. They can still watch other videos of other people performing pieces. They can even add videos of their own. So like I said, depending upon the age, that could be a pro or con. It could also be a distraction from what they need to be doing, which is playing the piano and practicing the piano. Another pro is that you can have up to 5 profiles on your account. So that means for me, I have 3 kids plus myself. We got 4 profiles. And each of them save where they are in the lesson, where they are in the beta play, if they've picked out their favorites, how many 5-minute workups, they collect their stats and all that fun stuff. So that is a big plus. Another big plus, which we have not utilized, you can actually, if you have an electrical keyboard, you can hook it up to the keyboard, throw some headphones on, and as a parent, you don't have to hear any of it at all. We have not utilized it because I don't know why, but we should. And another pro is it's very, very user-friendly. It's easy once you get started because they start you off slow with the lessons and they start to open and unlock other things. It's easy to navigate through Simply Piano in order to achieve the goals that you may have. It's not gonna make you a virtuoso piano. Probably not. It'll get you playing. Don't get me wrong, you're gonna impress your friends, your kids are gonna impress your friends. But it's not the same thing as having a music teacher sit down next to you. They don't teach you dynamics. They don't teach you, pedaling and all those little techniques that make the song just so much more beautiful. It's just very simple and playing the notes and the chords and the melody and knowing how to read music. It doesn't teach you how to make it beautiful. I will say most of the songs on Simply Piano will have some kind of music in the background. Some you are able to play, like the solo stuff, you will be able to play without accompaniment in the background. So it is kind of hit or miss, especially as you go along the program. more options are going to open up for you. Like I said, that's one pro, is that it slowly introduces you and then opens and unlocks, and it's a learning curve. Well, it's a learning curve, but they take you through the learning curve, so you're learning along with the program. Now, how do we use Simply Piano? So when we started, I had my two boys, my two oldest boys, we jumped in there and I started teaching them the lessons. I did personally, since I have a background with piano, is I would sit with them, I would teach them their warm-ups. They actually have a set of warm-ups that I taught them outside of Simply Piano to do on their own before they open up the app and start working. And then I check on posture, I check on hand positioning, all that kind of stuff. I taught them that separate of Simply Piano, and then when we incorporated Simply Piano with the lessons, I tried to weave that in as we did the lessons. So I was sitting with them in the very beginning. Once they got started, they started taking more ownership of it and going on their own. Now we're at a place where every single day they will work for 20 to 30 minutes on piano. They can pick their song, but I do have certain requirements. You know, I want them learning some kind of challenging piece, whether it's a classical song, whether it's blues, whether it's jazz, whether it's gospel. It needs to be something that's challenging. And I really like to reinforce those classical pieces and then also study some of the composers on the side with them. On Fridays, they present that piece to my husband where he listens to them. My husband is also musical as well. He has a good ear and he will listen to them. They get nervous, they do, but he's actually very gracious with them, because if they don't have it perfect, he says, this is great, so what are we gonna work on next week? Because one of the things that Simply Piano does not teach is proper practice tips. So one of the things, if I don't have a section done well, I will go back and do that over and over as a loop until I have it. Well, Simply Piano does not allow that. That's one of the techniques that I like to teach my kids as we're going through, not just to start from the beginning and go straight to the end. I have to have them physically go in there and teach them. I have to teach them that, because Simply Piano doesn't do that. But like I said, every Friday they perform it for my husband. He asks them what they're going to do the following week, and then they continue working on those pieces. A lot of, like Moonlight Sonata, for example, which is one we're working on, is going to take more than 1 week to learn. However, learning the theme song of Game of Thrones maybe takes 2 weeks. That's what we're hoping right now. But then my daughter likes to do these challenges. I didn't talk about the challenges. The challenges are pretty cool. So seasonally, they will open up challenges. And right now we're going through the Summer Sizzle Challenge. It's actually called the Good Vibe Challenge. Okay, let me get it right. Okay, and they will give you a set of a few songs, and the rest are kind of a surprise. They're gonna open up later this month. So my daughter gets really into these, because it's like, okay, I got 4 like summer songs right now, and I don't know what the next one's gonna be, and it opens up May 26th. She gets so excited. And then she's gonna try to get all those done. She likes to have a race, right? She's gonna try to get her 3 stars done for that. So then by the time it opens up on May 26th, which it looks like there's 4 more that open up, she's gonna have those 4 to play around with for that week. It also helps strengthen sight reading skills, because she is kind of rushing to get them done. I love it. It's only open for a certain amount of time and then it goes away. It usually will go back into the beta play where you can find the sheet music if you want to go back and work on that song. Like, you know, when we did the Disney challenge and there was Encanto songs, like seriously, she has to learn those. So I hope this kind of helped you guys out with learning a little bit about Simply Piano. We love it. I'm not expecting my kids to be piano virtuosos, but what I am expecting is that they have an outlet, they have a hobby. And another thing about music is it builds the brain. It crosses between the right and left hemisphere. It lights up the whole brain. It's probably the only thing that does it. And I need that for my kids, especially as they're growing up and at this young age. So there you have it, guys. I hope you liked it. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you're into learning more about homeschooling kids, I do have a homeschool channel. This is my homeschool channel, and we do talk a lot about kids that do have special needs, disabilities, learning disabilities, and my daughter does have Down syndrome, so we talk a lot about that. So join us on our journey. So thank you guys for watching, and until then, I will see you in my next video. Bye.